Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I have a little bit different kind of art video for you, but I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, let's hop in, guys. I figured today we could do something a little different. So I wanted to do this voiceover, kind of talk about my art, why my specific style looks the way it does, what different things I grabbed from that influence my style. Well, there's gonna be a little bit of music mixed in. It's a little bit more diverse in what you're gonna be hearing. So for this first one, how I actually learned to draw was it was freshman year, and I was really into My Little Pony and wanted to make art. So what I did was I learned to draw the My Little Pony characters from Equestria Girls, and so I had a very basic understanding of anime style, and I combined it with some of the stylized pieces of how they draw the Equestria Girls, and that was my first drawing style. And then I took a class, a visual arts class, and I actually learned basic shading and proportions and different techniques to do art. And then I actually learned to draw the ponies because cartoons, yes. And that's how we have my first character comment, because that's just her, and it ended up looking very special and unique to me. I really liked that style when I learned to draw it. So for this next one, around I want to say junior year, I got really into this show called The Loud House, and it was done in this comic book-esque rubber tube kind of style, where things had proportions, but they weren't exactly the most accurate, which allowed a bit more freedom to my art to develop a kind of style to it. It had a lot of soft edges instead of hard points, and so it was a real learning curve for me because I was so used to drawing people in a really kind of rough and crude manga-esque style, It really made me rethink face shapes, ear shapes, proportion, body placement, and helped remove a lot of stiffness that I had in drawing characters. I was really bad at that. So I created Ash, and it allowed me a lot of learning room, and I still take a lot of like my colors and character design into consideration, thinking about how I drew stuff in the Loud House style, just because it makes for a lot more fun looking characters, and it's why I draw eyes the way I do, and I do my ears the way I do, and why I do noses the way I do noses most of the time. So it just allowed for that kind of free development of my style. So if you've watched any of my drawing videos before, you know I love the owl house. And the owl house has this kind of proportional, yet still slightly rubber tube style to it, where everything has proportions. You can see calves on the arms. You can see where arm kind of bulges at the other one. I forget what that's called, but there's that large group of muscles. And it allows for a more diverse shape in body type and head shape and ears. And so I started drawing it because, again, I love making fan art. I started drawing it, and it got me a little bit more comfortable with clothing, layering, how things fall, and a little bit more of that, whatchamacallit, just that kind of organic look you get that there isn't a ton of it in the Owl House. Things still kind of look a little sleek and polished, but it has a lot more give to it, where the clothes feel more fabric and material and flowy as to stiff cardboard, which I really liked and got me a little bit more familiar with doing coloring for the eyes and the pupils. So it also gave me a little bit more of an understanding of ear shape, which helped a little bit. So it's been interesting, and I still take parts of that into consideration when I do my own style. So my style is a little unique. It takes a little bit from everything. For all the cartoons I draw, uh, traditional art with proportions and everything, manga style, and just stuff that I like to do just because it makes it easier for me. So my face shape, it's a combination of the Japanese art style and that kind of like rounded face you'd see in like Steven Universe or the Loud House or the Owl House for that matter, or even Amphibia. But it still has that kind of shape to it that gives it a more human look. The eyes I like to do open but still rounded, so it's those big anime eyes like you see in My Little Pony and stuff, but still have that kind of emotion to it. They're very big, they're very expressive. And then when it comes to doing like the neck and everything, I try and make it a little more proportional just so when my shoulders and everything come off of it, it feels more attuned. That way, when I get into the body, I can do the shoulders and the arm shaping. And if I wanted to, I could do muscles. And it's the same thing when I get to the chest. I do a little bit of a round at the top for the rib cage, then slim it out. And I make it more dramatic or less dramatic depending on the body type I'm drawing. The hair, always floofy. That's just Ash. It's floofy hair. And then with the legs, if I'm doing skinny jeans, I'll do more definition into making the thighs very pronounced as opposed to the calves. But I don't focus on it too much if that's not what I'm doing. And then ears, I kind of gauge it between where the jaw line is supposed to be ending and where the eye is placed, because that's how it is for the actual human head. So I try and keep that in mind. And then with the clothes, I try and make them look a little baggy, a little loose, like they're sitting on top of something. And then shoes, like I could draw you the most realistic shoe ever, but in my head, it's just, I don't want to. It's a lot of work that I don't want to put the effort into. So I do my kind of bullshit that I do when I draw shoes, which is why it takes me a few tries to actually get it. But I think it makes for a very like personal to me style. I don't see anybody else's whose style even comes close to mine, and that's one of the reasons I feel like mine stands out a lot, and I love that for me. I hope y'all liked the video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe if you want to come back for more. It helps me out, and obviously if you enjoy it, you're here, and you made it to the end of the video. So, props to you. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.